Don't count out Casey Drake in that 87. He's right.
One more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Okay. Oh, Alto gets spun. Oh, Matthew gets the apron. Around the Drexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Now between the 2 car lengths. Too little too late for Derek and Smith. Oh, Clapping gets third! Clapping gets third! Oh my gosh! Side by side, 3 wide at the wire!
And we welcome everybody here for tonight's main event, iSCAR DeNise Design Series. Round number 19 out of 20 brings us to Pocono Raceway as we're going to duke it in for 60 laps of racing here tonight. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
My name is Peter Kenny.
And we'll be your commentators here for tonight. Of course, this race very important. Going to determine the final 4 coming into Homestead next week. And the points look very interesting coming in here for tonight. Not a lot of drivers out on the racetrack. Only have 20. But regardless, still gonna have a solid race nonetheless. So for Cole Williams and Christopher Wiles, it seems as though they're safely in, but not out. I mean, not really out of the question that they can fall outside that top 4. So we'll just have to see on how it'll all turn out, and you know how Liam Sheen, Hunter Johnson, and William Schmidt, how hungry they're gonna get themselves into that top 4.
Yeah, this being such a small race, it's not a huge payout with the points, so really, Cole Williams or Christopher Wiles, they just have to manage how they race today. They both can run very well. They're both very fast drivers, so unless a huge mistake happens to them early on, I see those 2 as being pretty safe locks for this final 4.
Yeah, we'll just have to see, though. But, I mean, you also got to factor in bonus points for leading laps, most laps led, and also winning the race as well. So, in terms of how many points you could get, just because there's only 20 people show up doesn't mean there's only 20 up for grabs. So for all these drivers out on the racetrack for right now, they need to get themselves a good finish here. I mean, for those top 7 to be one of those final 4 contenders. But I mean, the gap between 3rd and 6th is relatively big, bigger than what I thought it was, and just 8 points separate Malachi and Hunter. But I mean, it is doable.
Yeah, very much is, and you know, this track being so unpredictable, I mean, we've seen before here, you know, what kind of action this track can bring. So really, even William Schmidt being, or not, Hunter Johnson being 8 points back of Malachi Drake, anything can happen. I mean, he could end up in that final 4.
We'll just have to see, though. But for Cole Williams and Christopher Wiles coming in here with over 20 points, 26 and 24 respectively, I think they're safely on in unless they have a bad night. So we'll just have to see on how it'll all turn out for that. In the meantime of that, currently practice underway. Then it's 20 drivers out on the racetrack for right now. Connor Brennan in the number 92 leads practice.
Yeah, and you see in one person up there, Cole Williams, pretty fast so far here, running in 2nd, right around a 10th off of Connor Brennan. Hunter Johnson sits 4th. Fastest on the leaderboard right now. Christopher Wiles 7th, Carson Dexter 8th, Schmidt 9th. All of those drivers looking to see if they can secure a spot into the final 4. But this track, very unpredictable. I mean, this could either go one way or the other. This could be a race where it could go possibly green all the way with not very much action, or this could be a race where it could be a battle fest, really. So, I remember racing here a couple of seasons ago, and we actually had a big wreck in the trucks, but these cars handle much different than those trucks, so I'm looking forward to this race, especially with it being the last one before the final race of the season.
Yeah, and you mentioned it could go either way. It could be a messy one, it could be a clean one. We're running 60 laps here around this Pocono Raceway, so it's gonna be one to watch in terms of long runs. So it should be interesting to see on how it'll all turn out. But in the meantime of that, we're going to scoot ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. So rise up, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Here, we're out for these messages. And we welcome everybody back here for tonight's iSCAR event. iSCAR hits the raceway at Pocono as we duke it down for 80 laps. Currently qualifying underway. Drivers taking their fastest two around this 2.5 mile racetrack. If you haven't been to Pocono, I suggest you go here. One of the more interesting tracks on that iSCAR circuit. 3 turns around each corner. Banking varies on where you are on the racetrack. 6 to 14 degrees around here. Straightaways also vary from 1700 to 3700. And we're running 60 laps, so 150 miles is going to go into the book. And that means that fuel window should be around a 2-stop window with 75% fuel.
Yeah, and I've been to this racetrack in person to watch the Cup cars. I went to the race just a couple of seasons ago at, it was the one later than the summer. It was Chris Buescher's first win, but I remember this racetrack, really, with the driving, especially of these cars, I think we could see very, very spread out racing. With these cars, you know, being how they are, and cause that's, I mean, this track really, it's with its, different banking, different, the way you have to take the corner. So we could see some very spread out racing, or we could see wrecks every few laps. But we see Connor Brennan on the racetrack right now, and get an idea of how you can run this track just by watching Connor Brennan go around here. He's one of the more faster guys in the field. But that tunnel turn that he just took right there is one of the more trickier corners here, especially coming off that exit. That wall comes up on you really fast, and I wouldn't be surprised with VC if you guys maybe get in that wall later today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either as Connor works himself off of turn number 3 and onto the front straightaway, so he's just going to complete one of his 2 laps. And Cole Williams currently on top of the board right now with number 42 with a 55.242. I'm still seeing some more other drivers who work themselves around the racetrack. Max Urich, Malachi Drake, Hunter Johnson. All these drivers just getting as best of a lap as they can. But currently, Cole Williams on top of the board, and not only that, he's going to get an extra bonus point. He comes in here as the points leader as well, so another driver we're going to have to watch out for here tonight.
Yeah, it's a key bonus point here on the line, and right now Cole Williams being the points leader is huge for him if he can last on the top of the board. You can see he just finishes up his 2nd lap and doesn't look like it's as fast as his first, so we'll see if anybody can top him. And Hunter Johnson coming around he'll finish his 1st lap, come off of turn number 4, see if he can run faster than Cole Williams, and we'll see at the line. And he'll put himself in 2nd position with a 55.308. So Cole Williams still sits on the top of the charts, just under a minute left in qualifying.
And we're still yet to see a couple drivers log in some lap times, and Delicato works himself through as I think Miller logs himself into 10th spot. So for Cole Williams, it's going to be an extra bonus point to carry himself forward.
And as I just mentioned, you can go.
I lost my train of thought.
Alright, well, as I was going to say, as I mentioned before, I think Delicato got the walls. Actually, I didn't. Never mind, he did not. I saw Sparks there, but he'll put himself up in 8th place as of now, as qualifying is just about to wrap up.
So yeah, that means Cole is going to get the pole off of this exchange. And with 20 drivers on the racetrack, looks like 20 points in total going to be available with this one. So transition into our warm-up stage. Driver's going to have 5 minutes to get some last-second adjustments out on the racetrack and get themselves set for tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean, race analytics, 2.5 mile triangle-shaped track. There's an oval here. 1,866 feet above sea level. This track located in the Pocono Mountains, so a pretty high elevation here. Afternoon race, pit road speed 55 miles an hour. Not the hardest pit road to enter. No stages at all. 3 extra tire sets for these guys, and the fuel window 23 to 26 laps, so could be right around a 2-stopper for these guys today.
Yeah, that's right, and that's toward that halfway point around lap number 30, so we'll see if some drivers are going to probably maybe save just a bit if this thing does go green all the way, and if they could stretch it all the way to lap number 30. So that's something that we're going to have to keep our eyes out for as we progress with this one. Weather looking, I think, pretty fair right now. 80 degrees out on the racetrack. 108 is your track temperature. So it's fairly slick. I mean, any Xfinity setup is slick with a short spoiler and such. So should be interesting in how the drivers, how much you're going to have to back up your corner to get runs on the straightaways. I mean, look how long these straightaways are. Front stretch is about like 3,700 feet. So to get a good lap, you have to sail it off of 3 in a good enough manner to keep that momentum up coming into 1.
Yeah, it's all about speed. I mean, exiting and entering these corners, as you just mentioned, how long these straights are. Corner entry and exit is going to be key as how fast you are today in this race. But I mean, that's what warm-up was all about. These guys to get a feel for that, and even practice your pit road entry. If this thing was to go green all the way and you see green flag pit stops, it's a good time for drivers to practice how they want to enter pit road. This is one of the more easier pit roads to enter, I would say. So with a huge, long straightaway there.
I mean, I'll customize the camera right now as I do this, but in terms of pit road, I mean, it's a long pit road as well. Same situation like what we're going to see at Indy. I mean, what we saw at Indy just last night, in which there's going to be a situation in which if you're within the grasp of the leader, you're going to be able to pit without going a lap down. So it's just a question on how you're going to execute if you're within reaching distance of that leader. So should be fun to see on how it'll all turn out. But in the meantime of that, still 2 minutes remaining in warm-up as of right now.
Yeah, and you can see just, the huge, how big this pit road is, and an easy pit road to really get on and to get off of. I really wouldn't expect to see anybody, miss pit road in terms of entering and exiting. It's just kind of, you merge onto the racetrack right before you enter turns 1 and 2. But yeah, look at how wide that pit road is. So really shouldn't be too hard of an issue on pit road. So I really wouldn't expect to see any incidents there.
I mean, who knows? You might get tied off of turn number 3 and smack the outside wall, and all of a sudden you're heading on a pit road. So there's still some room. I mean, from turn 3 all the way to pit road. So let's say you're gonna have a last-ditch effort going on in, and that's something you don't want to do as Max misses the
example right there.
Yeah, Max misses the barriers right there. So a minute in practice remaining as of right now, and Delicato holds the top spot in this warm-up session. We'll talk about our playoff drivers. There's 7 of them currently as of right now, and for Cole Williams, Christopher Wild, Malachi Drake, Carson Poindexter, Liam Sheen, Hunter Johnson, and William Schmidt trying to secure themselves a good spot into Homestead coming next week. And Christopher trying to pull the Ryan Kendrick last season, go 3 Final Fours, enter himself in all Final Four races. So should be fun to see the 41 out on the racetrack.
Yeah, and Cole Williams got the extra bonus point for the pole award, so that gives him an extra point, an extra cushion to lay back on for this race. But I mean, I'm interested to see how the guys who are outside of the top 4 right now, how they're going to race. Liam Sheen, Hunter Johnson, and William Schmidt, those 3 drivers, 5 points separate them between each other, and then 8 points separate William from Carson, who's currently the last car in as of right now. I'm excited to see how their driving style will be this race, how they're going to enter, and how they're going to try to maybe work their way into the Final Four.
I mean, in terms of Final Four as of right now, my eyes are on Poindexter, Sheen, and Johnson for that final transfer spot. So it should be interesting to see and how it'll all turn out for them, because from 3rd up, I think Malachi, Christopher, and Cole all have enough points to keep themselves a nice buffer, in which if they finish outside the top 10, I think they'll still make it in regardless. But we'll just have to see on how they'll all turn out. In the meantime of that, we're starting to grid up for the race, and for Cole Williams up top, earns an extra bonus point, and Hunter Johnson right alongside of him.
Liam Sheen going to round himself up in 3rd with Connor Brennan on his outside in 4th.
Our number 3 going to be Carson Poindexter in that number 21 machine, right alongside the 90, Malachi Drake.
Row number 4, Hunter Rupp in 7th, and Nick Indelicato round is on his outside in 8th.
Our number 5, and the rest of the top 10 we're going to read is going to be Christopher Weil in 9th spot, as well as the number 49 of Sir Tajman. The rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver, and hopefully he'll win here for tonight. Dylan Basie in the 08, it looks like does not grid up here with this one, so scroll ourselves to the rest of the order.
Yeah, and this is one of those tracks where drivers line up on pit road like that, kind of in a diagonal fashion, as pace car rolls off, and these guys are, you know, moments away from taking the green flag.
Yeah, so on number 42, Cole, I mean, maintaining track position is going to be key for him. Even though he's coming in here as the points leader, it's not over just yet. Just get yourself a nice solid finish and work yourself out of here from Pocono as one of those 4 drivers in the end. I mean, Cole had a bad night in the truck series, and he came in as one of those final 4 before that race started, but unfortunately, that bad night really killed him. And Cole ended up finishing 5th in the standings. So Cole's only out by 1 point in that series as well. So can't have a bad night with this one.
Yeah, and he does have, you know, that top starting position, so we'll see if he can get up and away with the lead and just try to maintain a solid run today. And you see right behind him in 3rd, Liam Sheen, another driver in 5th right now in the standings, just outside of that top 4. He has to have a solid run today if he wants to work himself into the final 4. So a lot of drivers here to keep our eyes on. This is going to be a really, really, really interesting race.
All right, here we go. iSCAR scoots itself off of turn number 3, and on in it goes for Liam Sheen in the number 1. Green flag. Up and away we go. And Cole Williams in number 42 leads the field to the green, but already Pocono restarts at its finest. Contact already! Weil gets involved! Oh my gosh!
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, that is huge. Christopher Weil involved in that wreck. Looks like Carson Poindexter involved as well. 2 of the SPM cars taken out early on. And oh my gosh, as you said, Pocono restarts are going to be chaotic, and you saw it right there. 3-4 wide on that start. Somebody got into somebody, and chaos ensued there, and a key driver taken out early. It's Christopher Weil.
Oh no, this is huge for him. I mean, he came in here 2nd in points, and that motor's expired. You see the engine just rolling out from under it, but that all got started. Somebody made an abrupt move, trying to get as much real estate as they can, and somebody went out of line in an awkward fashion. Oh, it was Poindexter, and he whipped back into Weil and smashed the inside barrier, and Poindexter was involved in that as well. So for Poindexter, another final 4 another contender who is in that bubble inside that final 4. I mean, he's not necessarily destroyed, but regardless damaged. Get another look at it. That was very interesting how that all panned out, but for lap 1 wreck to ensue like that to involve 2 out of the 7 contenders is unreal.
Oh yeah, looks like Liam Sheen went up to try to keep the 21, I think, behind him, and I think Carson just had an edge on his outside, and that got Carson's bumper, cooked Carson to the right. Carson tried to correct the car and just turned back into his teammate, who was unfortunately right there, and both of their days come crashing down, especially Christopher Weil, who took the brunt of that. You see a hard hit for Dominic Cowboy from that. And this is just, you know, an example of what these restarts will be like all day today.
Oh, that was a hard hit.
That was a huge hit.
Liam got a... I don't know if... No, it looks like Poindexter was peeking down on Liam. Liam threw the block. And Liam, I mean, they made contact, and Liam veered up, which sort of swung Poindexter, sort of like an NR 2003 bumper grab right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's what it looked like. I mean, really nothing the 21 could do. He's just trying to make a move. The 1 tried to keep him behind him, and unfortunate how that all played out.
Both of them are going to go one lap down. For a while, he's going to go multiple. Depending on how much required he does have.
Yeah, and that's just a long day for a while now. I mean, even though he's done, he's still, even if he can get that car repaired, I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe tries to come back out and log in some laps, because, I mean, with the spot he's in right now, he needs to just try to get as much spots as he can, if any. There's any more cautions after that, but, I mean, that is not the way you want to start a race at all.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, for a while, he comes in here second in the points. He came in with 7,024, so it's gonna be 8 back. I mean, it's 6 back to Malachi Drake, and another 3 back to Poindexter. So after that, it's another 3 back to Sheen, and that's another 2 back. So I mean, there's a fairly big gap. I mean, 6 points isn't a lot, but that's the biggest gap between each playoff driver in the standings. So for a while, if he just gets himself out on the racetrack, I think he has a chance. So it's not over for him, but in terms of that, oh my.
Yeah, he's just gotta try to get himself back on the racetrack.
Yeah,
when
just
he can.
And he's gonna go another lap down as well. So Poindexter, he too is going laps down. So
it looked like Poindexter's car might have been crabbing after that caution. I don't know if it was just to where he was, but it looked like he was crabbing a little bit, like his suspension around was knocked off a little bit. So that could be why he's on pit road, or he just has a lot of optional damage that he's trying to take. But I would not be surprised. Most likely, Christopher Weil has a lot of required damage he's gonna take, and hopefully he can get that thing repaired soon enough to get back on the racetrack.
for Carson, he too, I think he has required as well. So 2 SPM machines, all junked on pit road. So, for the 21's case, get yourself back on the track. I mean, it's gonna be a long shot for the 21, but for the 41 of Weil, he has a better shot of getting into the final 4 rather than Poindexter. But Weil has more damage than that number 21, so who knows how many laps that 41's gonna be down once he hits himself finally back on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's gonna be key, and hopefully, I mean, Poindexter, not nearly as much damage, so I would expect to see him. Would expect to see him back on the racetrack earlier than Weil, as the pace car lights are off, and we're gonna get the green flag this time. We're gonna do it again.
Alright, here we go. So it's gonna be Cole, Connor, Liam will lead the field to the green. Pace car is in.
Green, green, green.
Flagman waves it, up and away we go, and somebody does not get going as they're scrambling yet again. 3 wide toward the back. That's Sertage Mon and Parker White. They're gonna take it 4.
4 wide entering 1. You see, I think that's Sartaj Mon all on the inside. Parker White tries to get in between him and Nick Miller. 4 wide in the 1. Contacted around goes Glenn Bundren.
All right, man, caution
Nick
is
Miller's
out. Caution
involved.
is out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
More
Miller got
hard
hit again.
Yeah, Miller got hit again. Dominic Howe might have just plowed that. They're 4 wide entering turn 1, and I did not think that was going to work out at all, and Miller just up into Bundren and Calamity behind them. Yeah, looks like Parker got into Nick Miller, and up into Bundren he goes. Looks like damage for the 91 of Garrett Hess, and I'm not quite sure what happened to Dominic. I think he was trying to avoid it, and he got loose.
Here it gets in it.
Yeah, got, contact from Garrett, and that shot him up into Nick Miller and gives Nick more damage than he already had.
That was the 91 of Garrett Hess. Really nowhere to go off of that exchange.
Jackson Minshew has damage, Max Yerke has damage. That is huge again.
Yeah, no, we've eliminated Connor Brandon off of that exchange, so he's for sure done for.
Yeah, Dominic done. Glenn Bunder and a lot of rear end damage for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a bit on pit road. So, still have not logged in a green flag lap yet after 2 wild restarts. And Cole Williams maintains the lead so far. Man, there's not much to say so far other than this has just not been the way you want to start a race.
Now, this brings up a question of fuel. Do you want to hit pit road? You could one-stop it from this point forward, so Cole's gonna gamble to go on a pit road, so... Oh, man, so... Who's gonna follow Cole on the pit road? That's the question. As Yurik wrecks it in the background, but...
Oh my goodness.
You see the back half of the field is gonna hit pit road as Yurik's still trying to get it going, but all these drivers who are on pit road, they're gonna gamble to probably one-stop it from lap number 7 on forward. So this is gonna be interesting if they can. They can pull it off. I mean, we saw the fuel window, 23 to 26.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, you pit here and then see what. I mean, you pit here, try to get one more right around lap. They could stretch to about 30 laps. So you put around lap 37, 38, or around lap 40, and you could easily make it from there. So those drivers taking a gamble, and these drivers staying out, trying to get some track position, and maybe hope for more cautions or something to play out in their favor. And I think I think more playoff drivers came to pit road rather than staying out. I mean, I do see Hunter Johnson, Liam Sheen, and it looks like back there Parker White. Actually, I don't think Parker White is a playoff driver. That's my bad.
Yeah, so it's just Hunter Johnson and Liam Sheen who are going to gamble to stay out off of the exchange. And Hunter, he needed to stay out. He needs to get a lap led just to get a bonus point. So now he has one.
Yeah, and we'll see here if he. I don't know if pit road is still open or not. And
Yeah,
I think he'll stay out. One driver in the back makes their way down.
and that's Cole again, so he's trying to stretch the fuel even more. So Cole back on the pit road.
And Hunter,
Look at this.
stay out.
Look at this top 10. I mean, we got Hunter up in 3rd, Malachi in 5th. He needs to have a solid finish, and currently he's sitting in 5th spot as of right now. So Malachi, one of our playoff contenders here. Sertaz sits in 7th. Cole, who's down on the pit road again, is now in 8th. It's Dadgar, Yurik. Round out the top 10. And after that, you have Menshew and Schmidt. And for Schmidt, did get a bit of damage after that incident. So, another driver who put a gamble on a pit road to maybe one-stop it. Let's see how it'll all go.
Yeah, I don't know how much damage Schmidt had, but hopefully he's not down on any power, as, you know, power that this track does matter. It's a big track, but look at how many cars now that we see up here. And we only have, looks like, 13 drivers on the lead lap right now, so easily many drivers laps down are eliminated already.
And that means that's just potential spots for Weil and Poindexter to gain, so... Weil has 30 minutes of optionals. So he's currently working on his 9th minute out on the racetrack, so... the only 2 drivers I see who are disconnected from the session right now are Connor Brennan and Dominic House. So that's 2 definite, like, for sure spots.
Yeah, and at the rate we're going, well, I mean, Weil can get back on the racetrack right around. If, you know, if this trend keeps going, he can get on the racetrack before halfway or right around halfway. As the pace car works its way in, and we're back underway once again. But I'm gonna finish what I was saying. As I was saying, Weil can definitely get back on the racetrack before halfway and pick up a few spots from those 2 drivers who disconnected.
Yep, that's right. 3 wide and a 1 as Liam Sheen fends out the 10 of Indelicato. A lot of overshooting in the background as 3 wide yet again. It's Sertaz sideways with Miller. He's still trying to correct the car. And I think he keeps it down low, so we finally survive off of turn number 1. Just about 4 wide as Cole's all the way on the apron, but up front, it's all Hunter Johnson in this number 1 machine. I mean, 12.
Cole Williams makes a move past Sartaj Mott, work himself into the top 10 now, as side-by-side battles happen behind them. Parker White looking underneath that 61 of Hunter up for 4th or 3rd position. With Malachi Drake in tow there, right in 6th. Nick Miller, who was damaged in the launch caution, doesn't seem to be affecting him too much as he sits in 7th right now, and Hunter Johnson is up and away with the lead, zigzagging on the straightaway to try to break a draft or something.
Yeah, similar like what we saw here at Indianapolis, just weaving on the straightaways, trying to break the draft, and apparently he does so nicely. Pulls by 6/10 over at number 1 of Sheen. And he's gonna do that on all 3 straightaways, trying to break the draft and get yourself ahead of those drivers right behind. And for Delicato, who's sort of disconnected from him, still has Parker White right on his tail, and as well as Hunter up. So
yeah, it's just a big gaggle of cars behind those top 2. And Hunter Johnson, that's definitely working for him. He's pulled to right around a 2nd over that number 1 of Liam Sheen. Farther back in the field, Jackson Menchu on the outside of Sartaj Mon. Menchu gets the wall, I think, a little bit, and that'll allow Sartaj to pull by him. And back up front, Hunter Johnson pulling away from that one of Liam Sheen. But do remember, these guys, with staying out, I mean, I'm still not quite sure on the fuel situation if they'll have to deal with 1 or 2 stops. The guys who came down pit road could possibly 1 stop it, but Hunter Johnson and Liam Sheen, those 2 guys who stayed out, I don't know if they can 1 stop it.
the cautions do play their favor as we focused in on Poindexter, who's now back on the racetrack in 15th spot. So in terms of 1 stopping it, they do have 2 cautions to play around with. So as long as they saved fuel, they should theoretically be able to make it with just 1 stop around. Hopefully 25 laps to go, so we're just gonna have to see how it'll all turn out as Hunter still breaks the draft down the straightaways and pulling now by a 2nd over Sheen as this is Delicato trying to catch in for 3rd. Side-by-side racing now. It's Malachi Drake to the underside of Miller for this spot, and he'll complete it off of turn number 1.
Back by Nick Miller. It's actually a lap down up here, and by him. Williams, who restarted towards the back after pitting that last caution, finds himself up to 7th. So just the day so far he wants to have, a clean day of just keeping that race car in one piece. As Hunter Johnson now over a 2nd lead over Liam Sheen and Delicato, about 3 seconds back. He has, I think, Parker White and Hunter up in his tow as well. And Hunter all the way down to the bottom to break the draft off of Liam Sheen. More side-by-side racing as Sartaj Mon goes by Nick Miller, who I think just saw at forward and disconnected.
That's another spot.
Down. That's another spot for Carson Poindexter, who's on track right now. 5 laps down. Christopher Weil still not on the racetrack yet. He's 11 laps down right now. And he's hoping to get back on the racetrack as soon as he can and try to pick up the spots from these drivers who have disconnected. It's 3 so far who have disconnected.
Here's Delicato working himself through. Delicato criticizing 3rd as got a battle for 4th. It's Hunter up trying to work around Parker White.
Hunter up back, and doesn't race much in this series anymore, but he's back here at Pocono and having a solid run so far in 5th after qualifying in 7th. So a solid day for him, running up in the top 5. Someone who we haven't seen in a while. And Liam Sheen continuing to fall back off of Hunter Johnson. As Nick Delicato might be slowly trying to rear him in. As you see Delicato there in 3rd, has 2 cars behind him, Parker White and Hunter up right behind him. And a similar car lengths back with Malachi Drake sitting there behind in the middle of Hunter up and Cole Williams.
Glenn Bundren, he disconnects, so that's another spot potentially to be gained for a while, so that'll put him potentially into 13th spot. No, looks like maybe 16th or 13th, 15th spot at most if this thing does go his way. So if Weil finishes in 15th, I don't know how it could all work out for him. So Malachi needs to finish 6 positions ahead of that number 41. Poindexter needs to finish 9. She needs to finish looks like around like 12ish positions to get himself good, and that's not including bonus points. And it'll be 14 positions for Hunter Johnson. So that's the situation on how Weil is looking as of right now. So and for Hunter, he came in here 6th in the points. Hunter leads the race right now and is leading laps as well, so he's doing what he has to do to secure a final 4 spot.
Yeah, this is, I mean, a crazy storyline now for a while. We're still on pit road now, and I mean, if we see more people disconnect, that just goes in Christopher Weil's favor as more spots he could get. So, anyone I think Garrett Hess as well disconnected. I have not seen him on track.
Now, Hess is on pit road. He has required a damage, so I think we'll see Hess back on the racetrack momentarily, but have to see how it'll go, though.
Hunter Johnson's lead over 2 seconds now over Liam Sheen, and Sheen is getting caught by Indelicado, who is slowly starting to reel him in now right around a second, or less than a second between Sheen and Indelicado. Indelicado is bringing Parker White and Hunter up with him.
Yeah, and for Sheen,
you may go.
And for Sheen in this one machine, he sits with 7,012 coming in here with the night. So if it were to be like another position out on the racetrack, like if Hunter was sitting in 2nd and Liam was sitting in 3rd, Liam would be technically ahead of Hunter by a point. But since Hunter is out front with those 3 extra bonus points as well as leading laps, Liam doesn't have those bonus points on his side, so Hunter is currently in front of Sheen in terms of points, and maybe in front of Weil for right now. So I think Hunter's currently the last person in, and for Weil, he needs to get himself out in the racetrack to get as many points out in the racetrack. There's 4 points potentially on the line for him. With Glenn, Miller, Brandon, and Howe disconnecting.
And we got to see when Garrett Hess comes back in as well, and Nick Miller as well disconnected. That's one more as well. So I think Bundren disconnected as well. So he's 4 laps down now. So all Weil has to do is just get back on the racetrack and turn laps. We'll start to see, it'll be more clear what will actually happen in the end with, the final 4 and Christopher Weil, as might have a battle for 2nd that's starting to brew, as Delicado has caught Liam Sheen and is going to get to the back bumper and turn into 1. Delicado swings to the bottom as they enter the corner. And I think he's pretty clear for the spot.
Yes.
He will.
Yeah, so with Sheen now going a point down to where Indelicado is, Sheen needed to stay himself in 2nd place to potentially have his final 4 transfer spot, but now he's losing spots to Indelicado, so he's gonna have to do as much as he can to fight it out with this number 10 and retain that 2nd spot, but it's slowly being lost. Sheen is definitely the slower car out of this group. That gap was up to 1 second, and now it's basically dwindled. But he's doing a nice job of just holding the inside and keeping his distance. But Delicado pinches off a 3, and with the side-by-side racing, it's also reeled in Parker White, as well as Hunter Rupp, so we might go 3 wide into 1, but looks like Sheen follows behind the 10. He might have a shot coming into 1, though.
And this is all playing into that number 12 of Hunter Johnson's favor, as, you know, Johnson can easily kind of get farther away from this group back here with these guys being side by side and battling with each other, but now they kind of single out. She kind of washes up off the corner, and that might allow Parker White to try to make a move down the long straight. I don't think he will. I think he'll stay behind him as they work into the tunnel turn.
And for Delicado and Parker White, they need to finish. I mean, they need to finish up to the top spot so they can get themselves some fine extra bonus points. As Sheen cuts off Parker in 3, but Sheen's slowly starting to lose some ground. I expect him to give up a spot to Parker White and maybe Hunter Rupp in the process here soon. But see that driver in 6th place who recently hit pit road? That's Cole Williams off of that exchange who did hit pit road. And for Cole, trying to one-stop it from this point forward, and currently it's out green as of right now. It might work to his favor, and if he does steal the win away from that number 12 of Hunter, oh, that's going to be huge. What kind of bonus points is Hunter going to lose off of that exchange if Cole does end up winning this race?
Yeah, Cole, and also, to mention, Cole is catching these 3 drivers up here. It's his tire. I don't know if he took tires or not, but he's starting to reel these 3 in right here and trying to see if he can get by Liam Sheen eventually. But as you mentioned, if this goes green all the way, this could play into that number 42's favor. And for him to steal a win would be, as you said, it would be huge for that number 42 of Cole Williams to try to lock himself into the Final 4. And what that'll do to Hunter Johnson, I don't know. We'll have to see how that all plays out.
But again, that's if Cole could make it with just 1 stop, as Hunter works at the bottom side of Sheen, but Sheen doing a well amount of pinching to keep that 4th position for right now. But Hunter seems as though is the better long run car. Sheen's going to throw the block though, trying to keep him behind him. And Cole did not take tires on that last exchange as well, so Cole's on the same set of tires as everybody else out in the racetrack. He saved a set on pit road, and he just took on fuel only, so
really just reeling him in based off of these guys battling right here. And Liam Sheen might have used up his tires already with him being pretty slow and losing a lot of ground on 3rd place Parker White, and now might lose 4th place to Hunter Rupp. And Delicado cut the gap under 3 seconds from Hunter Johnson, so a little bit of reeling in that number 10 is doing on that number 12. And Parker White just sits in 3rd, and looks like Rupp is kind of backed off that number 1 right now.
yeah, and Delicado's slowly catching, so this is another threat for Hunter that he needs to keep his eyes out for. Hunter is probably going to hit pit road, maybe I'd say in around lap number 30. I expect them on pit road, so Hunter just needs to keep himself nice and steady. Just keep the gap distant enough to Delicado, in which you're going to be able to win the races. Here comes Sheen. He's going to make the hard left turn on the pit road. That is definitely speeding in a half. And for Sheen, he might have thrown away a Final 4 spot right there.
That is huge, and that pit road speed, a key thing here. I mean, you're coming off that turn at about 150 miles an hour, and you have to get down to 55, and Liam Sheen might have just sped there, and he's going to come down and just take some fuel. But man, oh man, that would be huge if he did get a penalty. You're going to take tires as well.
You might as well take on tires in that scenario. I mean, he flew on a pit road. He missed it by, I mean, he didn't miss pit road, but we talk about how easy it is to enter pit road, and I guess that was just inviting for Sheen to sort of push the issue as hard as he could, but he blew the pit entry, and you see him serving the time now on pit road. So for Sheen, it did not go well, as Delicado has some type of disconnection issue, so And Delicato falls out. We'll see what happened to him as he just disconnected. Yeah, so that's one less threat for Hunter Johnson, but another potential point for Weil.
Oh man. If this all plays to Christopher Weil, that would be huge. And I just looked back at the replay. William Sheen obviously speeding. I mean, entered pit road at about 80 miles an hour. Tried to get it locked down as hard as he could, but he'll do the time and might have just cost him a potential spot for the Final Four. And as you mentioned, Hunter Johnson now one less problem in his mirror is as number 10 disconnecting.
Who knows? It might play a long run problem though to Weil, who's yet to hit the racetrack still. So once Weil does start to slowly pass people, it's just a matter on how many points he's gonna get off of that exchange. So, oh man, should be interesting. And also another thing to note, what Hunter Johnson is doing, he's downshifting in the middle of the corners, and I mean, it's a faster way to go throughout the racetrack, but you're looking at a weird two-stop race as of right now. So for Hunter, keep it in fourth. Don't use them as much fuel. Don't get those revs too high.
Yeah, I was listening in practice about how these guys are gonna, how in the longer run, you know, downshifting could play key, especially if, you know, say you're on a run where you can make it to the end, how you can downshift and you'll be fast on the racetrack. But with the situation Hunter is in right now, you don't want to use that much fuel and get down to those lower revs and end up using fuel. And he's in on pit road on lap 26, so that's interesting. As Cole Williams will retain the lead, somebody who pitted under that last caution, and now we'll see if this could all play into his favor. And you see Hunter Johnson coming down to his pit stall and gonna just take fuel, and I don't know if he'll throw on tires or not.
I think you gotta throw on tires in this scenario. I mean, we're yet to log in the last 30 laps of the race, so you might as well slap on a set, and pull yourself all the way to the end. So now with Cole, seems as though you could stretch it to around 28 laps, or maybe a bit less than that. So Cole has 34 laps to tinker around with. He needs to get it under that 25-ish to go mark as Hunter scoots himself onto pit road. Oh, that was close.
That might be speeding. I'm not quite sure.
I don't think it was, but all these drivers, the top 5, are all gonna shuffle temporarily to the temporarily here because they pit on that first caution. So for Cole Williams, who's gonna have a huge lead over Schmidt in second place, Menchu in fourth, and we got to fight for fifth as it's going to be Max Yerk and Darius Rezadadgar fighting it out with this spot. But they're going to be temporarily holding this top 5 for right now because they pit on that first caution. So should be interesting to see on how it'll all go. And if they can just one-stop it from this point forward. What they have to do, again, they gotta put the fuel number should be around, I'd say 25 to go is when a potential one-stop comes into mind, and they still have at least 6-7 more laps to log on the racetrack on their fuel tank. So do the math, they could stretch it all the way to the, like, I'd say 35, 36 maybe, as Dario is going to wash up high to let Hunter Johnson go. Smart by him to not really fight out a person who's not on the same strategy as you.
And another reason of, with Cole Williams, he has such a huge lead that he could tinker run off that huge lead and try to save some fuel if he had to try to, stretch to that margin to be under 25 laps. So he could stretch it to get to lap 36 around there and be able to come down pit road and be easy and still have a huge gap with a 25-second lead over William Schmidt. So that's one, key factor that he can, factor in if he did need to save any more fuel for now to try to make it to lap 36.
And if it depends, the fuel window could range all the way to 25 to 27, depending on how you play your downshifts. Because of course, the more you downshift, the more fuel you're going to be burning out. So for Hunter, of course, he's on a different strategy as he tags the outside wall as well as Menchu. But for Hunter, he's using way more revs than everybody else, so he's burning up more fuel. Hence, I mean, luckily for him, he's opting with a two-stop strategy for right now. So, and you see here Schmidt just stopping on the racetrack off of turn number 1. He's so slow, but you know, whatever goes on his boat for him to play the strategy outright. And it's a 29-second gap from Hunter all the way to Cole, and Cole could maybe pit and be in front of that number 12. I mean, it's gonna be close. I think you have to be within at least maybe 30 seconds of the leader or of somebody for this to work. So it seems as though we're averaging about 41 seconds on pit road. So Cole is not gonna go a lap down in terms of pitting. So I mean, no way he's gonna go a lap down. I mean, the gap is 30 seconds. What am I saying? But he's gonna be relative to that number 12 of Hunter. So
factor in how much fresher his tires will be as well, that he can make up ground. And
that's
getting
right.
word from another driver that somebody said that they can pit on lap 33 because the fuel window is 25 to 27 laps, being that right around 33, 34 would be about 27 to go. To try to get to within 27, but we'll see when Williams comes down pit road. We got 29 to go right now, so Williams would have to stretch it to just maybe 2 to 4 more laps if that 25 to 27 lap fuel window right around there. So
Wild does disconnect, by the way. He is not on the racetrack anymore. He's disappeared from the session as Yurik is gonna fling it on the pit road. This is 24 laps into his run. So, oh no, there's Wow. He just disappeared there momentarily, but now he's still there. He could potentially pass people, but we'll have 26 minutes of track time to pass all the way up to potentially 13th. So, should be interesting. I mean,
I think we're going to see Cole Williams maybe down to the next couple of laps. Still has a huge 26-second gap over Hunter Johnson, who is just now, crossing the start-finish line. Parker White in 3rd, Malachi Drake in 4th, and William Schmidt 5th right now. Another driver back there makes their way to pit road. I think that is the 99 of Jackson Menchu, who is another driver who pit on lap 11 from that last caution. So I think Williams will be coming down within the next couple of laps. He has to. Not this time, but be taking what would be 27 laps to go, which 25 to 27 laps is the fuel window.
yeah, so he did make the mark, but
Does he stay out one more lap to have a little bit of a cushion with him if he has enough fuel to stay out another lap?
yeah, and other drivers we got to keep note of. Dadgar is on a different strategy like Cole Williams. Dadgar can, I mean, he's on 25 laps out in the racetrack versus Cole Williams. I mean, they might be off cycle just a bit because they're just crossing the start-finish line so late. So Dadgar's on the same strategy as Cole Williams. So it's William Schmidt who's on 27 laps out on the racetrack, so as of right now. So Schmidt just trying to coast as much as he can. I mean, he's barely using the throttle to get himself to that fuel mark. So William is in a tighter fuel scenario than this 06 and 42 for right now. So
yeah, now 26.
and Cole's starting to save fuel. I mean, he's shutting off the engine. I mean, that just tells you how close the fuel mark is going to be for Cole. I mean, He's on his 27th lap out in the racetrack right now, but gotta coast it, and I mean, keep yourself safe. And I think we might see Schmidt on the pit road, and here he comes.
Yeah.
So looks like he could stretch it to around 27 laps. So Williams gonna have to. Oh, he's gonna be on the same mark as he was the previous run. And for Cole, here he comes. Same scenario. No, he doesn't. He's gonna elect to stay. No, never mind. Now he goes on the pit road. So, man, it's gonna be close for Cole.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's right on the money. I mean, right on the dot. So, he also, I don't think he can really push the issue if he's trying to gun for the win, because, I mean, you're gonna be using up so much fuel trying to get yourself going as Hunter hits pit road. What?
What?
I cannot believe Hunter hit pit road. I mean, I think it's too early for that 12 to hit pit road, but regardless, he's in. And he's going to be on the same fuel mark as Cole, so. Oh, I think that's a bad. That's a I wouldn't say a terrible call, but that's a very gutsy call by the number 12 Hunter. I mean.
That is, yeah, that's very interesting to see that. I was not expecting that at all.
Me neither.
Cole's off pit road now. And I think that'll cycle Parker White to the lead right for now.
Yeah, so. Oh my goodness, what in the world? So, I didn't expect to play like that, so. Dadgar's on in.
Yep.
And he stayed out, I think, no, he didn't stay on an extra lap. Him and Cole pitted on the same lap, but they're far spread apart. So, now the question is, who's going to make it? Parker's not going to make it. Malachi's not going to make it. Hunter's not going to make it. So, for all these people who pitted 0 or 1 lap to go, all eyes are on them. So it's going to be, I mean, look at the gap between Cole and Hunter. I mean, that is a massive 21-second gap between those two. Hence why I don't know why Hunter pit. He should have waited it out. And not only did he, near contact. I think that was the one of Sheen. And that's Poindexter unhappy. I mean, we've seen this before.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We saw it last night at Indy, where Carson was expressing displeasure with Aaron Brown. Here he is at it again with Sheen, and there was a lot of contact made with those two, and Sheen, I mean, not smart by Poindexter. That's the second night he's done that in a row. He's waving a red flag to get banned, but...
Oh man, another thing about this huge gap between Cole Williams and Hunter Johnson. Cole Williams has a room to be able to save fuel without, losing to Hunter Johnson. Which, makes the question, why Hunter pit? Like, why did Hunter pit when he could have, I just don't know why he pit. I'm siding with you. I think that was a bad call on his part.
Wild's back on the racetrack, by the way. He's now he's in the 16th spot.
So Christopher Wild trying to make as much spots as he can. I mean, the highest he'll be able to get. I mean, he's 31 laps down. I don't think he'll get to into the 13th. Yeah, I think the highest he can get is 14th right now. See side by side, Menchu and Urich in front of the leader, Parker White.
Yeah, so. Oh my. Man, that's just such a bizarre way to sort of set up a race, with the first two cautions coming out as Menchu pulls a nasty block on Urich, and this is right in front of the leader, Parker White, who's saying, "What in the world are y'all doing right in front of me?" Urich's gonna let Menchu go. And here comes Parker on this mix, but
see Dadgar's slow over there, letting drivers by. I think he's being cautious with the drivers who he knows are in a fight for that final four. As you see, he lets the 90 Malachi Drake go by. Good on Dadgar.
Yeah, and again, Dadgar might be able to make it on fuel. He's the only person, I think, who can make it on fuel. alongside Cole Williams and Hunter Johnson. So Dadgar, he's so far back. I don't think he's going to be an issue. He's going to be a factor into it. But if if Hunter or Cole run out, it's over for them. So not only that, Hunter, he needs to finish in front of Sheen and Poindexter to get himself a Final Four berth. And Weil though is playing an interesting factor into this. He's sort of slowly making up spots out on the racetrack, and that too might play a factor. So for Hunter, points wise, he had 7,010 coming in here with the night. He needed to finish 14 spots ahead of Weil to have a shot at the championship. And Weil sits in 16th, Hunter sits in 6th. Don't factor in bonus points. If Weil gets in the 13th spot and Hunter's in 3rd, technically Hunter is out. But if Hunter wins the race or finishes in 2nd, he's in. So that's why I think it's just dangerous for Hunter to play with Cole Williams' strategy, but it's working out to his favor for right now, because Parker, Hunter, and Sertage have yet to hit pit road.
Oh man, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, and Malachi Drake, by the way, hit pit road a lap ago. So now, in terms of Malachi, he just needs to finish solidly. I mean, he had 7,018 points coming in here with the night, but Sheen, that speeding penalty killed him. So he lost. He had a 55-second pit stop off of that exchange on pit road. So he, after everybody cycles through, Sheen is probably going to be dead last by the time, he's going to be one lap down and dead last by the time this does finally shuffle through, as Basin is now on the racetrack as well. So I don't know, if Weil has some type of issue and Basin's going to be able to make up 5 laps on Weil, if Basin passes Weil on the racetrack, that's one less point for Weil he's going to have to come up on. So some more factors coming into there. So what can Basin do to pass Weil? I mean, there's a 5-lap difference though, but Weil is running extremely slow. I mean, oh, he's in the wall as well.
Oh, my goodness.
That's not what you want to do. I mean, Weil is...
Hopefully that engine that they stitched together also stays in, in one shape. We've seen drivers blow up again.
That's right.
And spell an end to their day, so hopefully that engine can hold on for the remainder of this race and to see how beat up it is. I mean, any slight contact to the wall could really kill that thing with how it's running. But man, yeah, more factors into this with Basin on the racetrack.
So, man. So, for a while now, again, for Hunter Johnson, he has to be nervous about where Weil is out on the racetrack. Hunter needs to finish at most in, again, around 13 spots ahead of Weil. And Hunter's going to get the tiebreaker if this thing does come down to a tie, because he has 9 top 5s versus Weil's 7 top 5s. They both have 2 wins, by the way, so that'll scoot back to top 5s. And Weil is now in 15th spot, so once we do see Parker White and Hunter Rupp eventually pit, Hunter's going to be in 2nd spot. But now, can he save enough fuel to get it all the way to the end? That's the question. And what kind of other factors is it going to play in with people like Sheen, who is now sort of off cycle because of his pit road mistake. And for Schmidt too, I mean, It's going to be a long shot for Schmidt. He came in here with 7,007 points. He did not have a good night at Phoenix, so he's just trying to... Schmidt has to win this race for him to have a shot. But unfortunate for him, I don't think he's going to be a factor. So it's all going to come down to A, where Hunter Johnson finishes, and B, how many positions is Weil gonna take. So seems as though there's a 13 lap difference between Indelicato and Weil, and there's 15 laps to go out in the racetrack. So Weil could pass the 10 of Indelicato and get himself in. But if Hunter finishes again in second place, Hunter is in.
With how slow Weil is running, though, you gotta also make sure, you know, he doesn't get lapped again, you know, 2 more times, and make it so he won't be able to get past the number 10. But I think he will be able to get past the 10 and get 13th, and see Liam Sheen off of pit road after coming in. Cole Williams is actually tracking down Parker White under 5 seconds now, without Parker yet pitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, this is intense. I mean, I don't know what to say off of that. Is Hunter's gonna...
Hunter up comes down.
Yeah, so this is gonna be Hunter's final pit stop of the night. So he's gonna opt with a two-stop strat. And on a pit road he goes, so
that means Parker White will be coming in within the next few laps, being on the same, right around the same run as the number 61. Which will put Cole Williams in the top spot and Hunter Johnson in second, who will be about 20 seconds back from Cole Williams. And then it's just a run from the end from there. See if Cole Williams can make it, if Hunter can make it.
Yeah. Such an interesting scenario. Hunter's in and out. And again, your order, as well as the amount of laps they've taken on the board, is on the left-hand side. We have a total of 15 cars out on the racetrack for right now, so Basin and Hess are out of it. I'm not sure what happened to Basin, but he's been on pit road for the past minute and a half. So Weil is going to be able to pass Indelicato, and that means Hunter has to finish second or better.
And Hunter will cycle to second with Parker White pitting.
Yeah,
in the next few laps.
That's right. So currently your final four looking for right now is to be Cole Williams, who's right there on your screen. It's gonna be Malachi Drake. Then maybe Poindexter? I mean, then it's gonna be Hunter. Then it might be Weil. I'm not really sure, so Poindexter is... he is 9 spots behind where Weil sits, so Poindexter, he's probably done for, so it might be still Weil in that final 4 spot. I'm not sure. I still have to recalculate this, but Parker did hit pit road finally, so on pit road he goes.
Now
of course, it's a 4-tire stop.
To the front.
Parker elects on with 2.
Now Cole and Hunter 1 and 2. on the racetrack. And as you mentioned before, Hunter Johnson a huge gap behind Cole Williams. Now we'll see if they can make it.
Schmidt saving, by the way. He's literally turning off the engine and trying to coast it all the way to the end, so... Cole now up front. Hunter Johnson... He's going to retain second spot. He's going to be in front of the 41 temporarily. And Malachi sits in fourth. So, it's Cole... Hunter... It's Cole... Hunter, Malachi, then a questionable who's going to be in that fourth spot. It would have been Sheen, honestly, if he didn't get that speeding penalty, but he did. And now that just opens up the question. Can Weil survive? Because...
Weil still sits in 14th, and I think he'll get past Attentive and Delicato to get 13th. And I think right now, Weil could be in a good spot to make the final four.
Yeah, so now that I think of it, I think Weil still might be good regardless.
Cole Williams' lead over Hunter Johnson, still huge, 22 seconds, under 10 laps to go. A fight to the end now. So Christopher Weil, 9 to go, only about 5 laps behind in Delicato. Trying to get 13th and be in the final four. Parker White running out after that pit stop out in third, and Urich gets loose off turn 4. Or turn 3. And the factor that what is the most unlikely to happen. What if there's a caution? What would that do?
Oh no! Don't even say that. That's the last thing that everybody wants to see is a caution.
Oh yeah, I don't want a commentator jinx that.
Yeah.
That'd be horrible.
Next are passes and Delicato out in the racetrack, by the way, so Carson to 12th. It's not going to be enough points to get him a final four spot, unfortunately.
So 7 lead lap drivers to finish this one out.
And Schmidt's trying to save as much fuel as he can, but he's getting lapped, so...
Oh, yeah, that'll make it 6 lead lap drivers now. And Williams just trying to survive this. 23 seconds now over Hunter. Christopher Weil now closing in on 13th. Just 2 laps or 3 laps now until he's in that 13th spot.
Yeah, with the amount of people that have disconnected, it basically gifted Weil a...
Oh!
I think Urich might have spun it. He tagged the outside wall. He climbed the wall off of 2, but it looks like he kept it straight, so... I thought that would have been a caution, but I guess not. So, for Weil, I think he's good for right now. Poindexter had he had to have Weil disconnect from the session and finish dead last, so Poindexter's case looks like it's not gonna happen for him. Liam, that speeding penalty just cost him so much, so he's now in 9th. Liam came in here with 7,012 compared to Weil's 7,024, so Liam had to finish 8 spots ahead of this 41 to make it in, but unfortunately it's not going to work out. I mean, he runs a 9th spot versus Weil in 14th, so he had to finish at least 6th or better. But that speeding penalty just really killed him.
If there wasn't for that speeding penalty, I mean, we'd be talking a whole different story for Liam Sheen right now. But 5 laps to go, and this race is coming to a close. As you see Schmidt and Urich side by side. Urich all the way up the racetrack.
Schmidt's on a fuel gamble right now. She's just trying to save as much as he can to make it all the way to the end. Unfortunately, he's not going to collect as many points as he'd like to pull himself into the final 4, but regardless, valiant effort by him.
Yeah, what a job he's done all season.
So all eyes on Cole.
Cole Williams got the point, got the extra bonus point for the pole, and is trying to win it from the pole. See, Dylan Bason's back on the racetrack, as Christopher Weil has now taken 13th spot away. Oh, Bason!
I don't know what Bason's doing.
Oh my goodness, Bason sliding up, almost tagging the 12 of Hunter Johnson, and inside that number 12 car. I wouldn't be too happy with that at all. I don't know what Bason is doing out there. 39 laps down and in 15th. Looks like Hunter just kind of lets him go. Bason all the way up the racetrack, almost on the wall of turn number 2.
It seems as though pitting for that caution seemed to be the call. Those fresh tires off of the restart have really benefited that number 41, and now up front.
And a huge gap to go with it as well. Almost 24 seconds over Hunter Johnson. And Bason back on pit road again. I don't know why he came out on the racetrack, but he'll bring it back down pit road. The Malachi Drake right there in 4th, Hunter Rapp on his tail.
Yeah, and this is for a position right here. This is the closest battle. Actually, we got a close battle between Max Urich and Jackson Menshew for the top 5 spot.
Top 10.
Top 10 spot. So this is the only 2 battles out on the racetrack right now. Is between the 90 and 61 and the 99 and 6. 2 laps to go, by the way.
2 more laps to survive. The tricky triangle for Cole Williams and Hunter Johnson, and Hunter Rupp sends it on the number 90 of Malachi Drake, and Drake will just let him by through the tunnel turn. Hunter Johnson just crossed the start-finish line as Cole Williams is halfway down the long pond straightaway.
Yeah, once it gets into the middle of 2. A mile and 3/4 away.
Parker
We're picking
White
up the
might
white
catch
flag.
Hunter
And once you hit the white flag, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, coming off of turn number 3 this time to take the white flag from Pocono.
Alright, 1 lap to go.
Will the strategy pay off for that number 42 of Cole Williams? A white flag waving from Pocono. And here's the battle for second. Hunter Johnson and Parker White. Parker.
Oh no. I think
The
Hunter
bottom.
needs to stay ahead of Parker.
This could be huge right here.
Yeah,
Hunter, oh, almost in the wall.
and they both have led laps too. Hunter needs to be ahead of the 095. If he doesn't get ahead of him, I mean, regardless, he's gonna finish probably P4, and I mean, he's gonna come out of here with P4 in points, but not gonna be ahead of Weil. But we'll give up a spot to Parker. And I think with Sheen having a bad night, if Sheen was up in the mix, I think that pass might have sealed the deal for Sheen, as Parker works himself off of 4, losing fuel at the line, He crosses the start-finish line coasting. He wins it at Pocono, reminiscent of what Logan Clampett did at Las Vegas.
Sometime next Tuesday, Parker White will finish second. And we're working way off of turn number 3 and gonna come to take second position there as you see Christopher Weil around in your screen. Hunter Johnson third. And then Hunter Rupp and Malachi Drake will come across the line 4th and 5th.
So yeah, I think that'll be the final 4 right there for Williams, Johnson, Weil, and who else? I think Malachi. Those are going to be your final 4.
So the lap 11 pit call works out for the 42. He'll bring him with a win and a spot in the final 4. Congratulations to Cole Williams on picking up the win. 27 laps led, I think the most the whole race by any driver. So great race by him.
And he ran out of fuel at the wire as well, so we're just about dead. He's still, never mind that, he's flinging, doing burnouts and such, so I guess he did
that for show.
Yeah. Full results going to be shown in front of your screen. Wow, somehow survives. I can't believe it.
Yeah, neither can I. That was crazy. Cole Williams picks up the win. Parker White in second. Hunter Johnson in third. Hunter Rupp in fourth. Malachi Drake brings it home in the top 5. And Sarge Hajman, the last car in the lead lap, in 6th. Then William Schmidt finishes 1 lap down in 7th. Darish Thadgar a lap down in 8th. Liam Sheen, after his pit road speeding penalty, brings it home 9th. And then Jackson Menchu 2 laps down in 10th.
There's the order on your screen as we round out the rest of the 20 drivers. It's Urich, Poindexter, Weil, and Delicato Basin, Bundren, Miller, Hess, Brandon, and Howe, rounding out the rest of it. And man, all those disconnections basically saved Weil from for a final 4 spot. So luckily for him, rather than what we saw the last 2 races, this race for sure we know who the final 4 are.
Yeah, definitely, and what a crazy way to, have that final 4 come down to it. So that was one heck of a start and one heck of a finish.
Yeah, Ben, we're gonna scoot ourselves aside. Go ahead and drag in the top 3 after tonight's event and get ourselves situated here right after this, right after these messages.
Is rolling out for the start of today's 400 lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. And just as the field comes all around turn number 4, the sunshine peeks through, helping warm things here. Bill Elliott leads him down. Benny Parsons on the outside. The green flag flies, and the first Union 400 Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. Oh, here we go. It's just about to go away. They bump coming out of turn 4. Earnhardt gets the lead. We had just heard from our spotters that Neil Lyons. Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 in North Wilkesboro.
you see Dale Earnhardt, the defending champion, a man who has won here at this racetrack. He has been absolutely second to none in 1987.
Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win, his fourth win of 1987 out of 6. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 at North Wilkesboro.
Everyone's wondering what can stop Dale Earnhardt. He's on a roll, 4 wins and 6 starts. I mean, is there anybody can handle you?
There may be a little more here underneath the sheet metal.
Well, I'm sure this afternoon we'll know a lot more, and we've got 500 miles to run. We'll see what happens.
Good luck today.
Our magnificent 19th annual $500,000 Talladega 500 is won by Dawsonville, Georgia's Bill Elliott, and the siren is beginning to ring. You'll probably hear it in Dahlonega. Bill Elliott has won. Davey Allison second.
Elliott now getting a challenge from Tim Richmond, but he closes again right in behind Earnhardt, coming down off turn 4. And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Elliott goes inside. And Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible. Decent driving by Earnhardt. 7 laps to go. Earnhardt went on the grass.
Dale Earnhardt is reminding Mr. Elliott, you make one mess up like that, and I might get through.
When you come to North Wilkesboro on a short racetrack, you expect some fender to fender and even some paint trading going on out there. We've seen it already as Red 9 gave Jerry Kramer a nudge in the rear end, and now we're seeing some great competition out there between Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott.
And we welcome everybody back here live for the iSCAR DeNise Design Series. We're going to go ahead and just dive deep into it here after this event. I mean, what a race, Peter.
Yeah, that was right from the start. That was crazy.
I have to go ahead and drag in the number 42, Cole Williams, into the booth. Lucky for him, with this win tonight, it boosts him up in, and of course he came in here as the points leader. He won the pole and decided to elect with a different strategy, pitting there with that caution, and luckily it definitely played out to your favor. Cole, congratulations, bud. You're one of our final 4 contenders in the series, man. So, with now, I think you have now 2 wins in this season. What are you planning to do? I mean, of course, win the championship, but what are you gonna have to do to pass Malachi Drake, Christopher Weil, and Hunter Johnson for the championship?
Yeah, definitely the B car is probably my best car, so I think we'll definitely be good come Homestead next week. Obviously, we're fighting on Saturday and Sunday for the championships. That's always, what we want to do. Of course, we wanted to be in the championship for all 3 series, but just bad luck struck in the trucks and missed it by 1 point. But it just goes that way sometimes. But just gonna have to save tires, of course. And obviously the track update, Homestead, which one of the tracks that were updated in the most recent build about a week ago, or at or around a week ago. So I think it'll be a little bit different. I might see some guys venturing up to the outside, slide jobs and whatnot. So the B car, at the end of the day, people are still going to find the best lane, the best place to run. So we'll probably still see some scene groove racing, the people trying to make setup passes running the outside and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, tires are going to matter, and it's going to be a long one. So for the Cup race and this one, it's just going to be about the long run, and hopefully we don't get a ton of people showing up, so we don't get caution filled or whatever. Obviously, this race was we couldn't make it a corner, and then we were able to go green the rest of the way. I figured there when we had a caution like lap 6, I was like, that's only going to mean like 12 cars are going to be left or so. So 12 or 14 cars or whatever are going to be left. So I don't think any of these guys could possibly wreck each other racing hard for like 10th. So and all of them are pretty skillful drivers. So I came down and I was going to take my my fuel, take a shot at it. Obviously not going to take tires. I only did 2 corners on them, but just took fuel and then knew we were going to be able to do one stop after about halfway through that run. So I was like, all right, just stay green and I'm going to win this by 25 seconds. At that point, so we're just salvaging it from basically from then on, and now we just have to look towards Homestead and hopefully go drive the championship there.
All right, about 10 for Cole Williams, rounds himself out top of the board, leads 27 out of the scheduled 60 laps here for tonight. Before I let you go, any sponsors want to take care with this one?
I just want to thank Dewey Schramm and everyone back there, everyone who's in VC tonight, of course Parker and all those guys. I just want to thank Bell Gaming Diesel and Diecast Stealth Energy for being on the car. Thanks to Corey Hartz and Corey Hartz Media for making my car always looking beautiful out there, especially when we're out there in the lead. The winter races, it's always fun to race here nice car once we get some green running in and race some really good drivers on the system or on the sim. So of course, thanks to you guys for putting it on and putting on the broadcast, everything you guys do, and hopefully we can make next week one of the best weekends of racing in the iSCAR as we round out the season.
All right, about 10 for Cole Williams, rounds himself out top. Second win of the season in this series. Go ahead and see you coming next race, bud.
Thank you, man.
Yourselves back one spot. Parker White in the 185.
Parker White, you finished second today, and solid run for you overall. Fuel strategy and whatnot, played into your favor and got you into second place. Talk about your race. How was it?
Yeah, it was a pretty good race for me. Like, I'm not in the playoffs for this series, the Xfinity series, so I just started in the back, just tried to have fun with this race. Like, I didn't really care if I was going to get wrecked out like lap 1 or like lap 60 or whatever. So I was just here to have fun. We had a couple wrecks right off the start, and I was able to avoid them. Then we went green the rest of the way from there. One thing that I probably should have done was come in that second caution, because that would have maybe be good, maybe make it to the end there on fuel. But I didn't come down because when I realized that we could have made it to the end, it was already 2 to green and the pit road was closed. So I decided to hope for another yellow after that if I wanted to have a shot at the win. But we just went green the rest of the way. So I came in for 4 tires and fuel the first time. I think it was lap like 26 or something. Then the second time I was, because I think Hunter pit like really early for his last stop, and Cole could go the rest of the way because he pit under that second caution. So I knew that I had a shot at like second or third because Nick and Delicato actually hit the wall there early in the race and just alt forward because he probably got the 12.5 and his car couldn't really keep up to speed. So after that second stop, I took 2 and put enough fuel in to get to the end. And I put like pretty late because and I stayed out and led a few laps there. And that actually jumped me a lot because I didn't have to wait for the left sides to go on the car. And I was able to actually free the car up a little bit on the right sides. So I had to run Hunter down 10 seconds, I think, in the last 10 or 11 laps, which I did there. It was pretty close because I caught him there on the last lap. And fortunately for us, we were able to get by him. But I'd say it's a pretty solid run for me here tonight after just starting in the back and just kind of here to have fun.
All right, man. 10-4. Any sponsors you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I've got to thank Mara Motorsports, my team. I've got to thank Bunch of Lawn Care and Media. And, of course, I've got to thank you guys up here at Max Speed TV.
All right, man. 10-4. Congratulations on another podium this season. And good luck next weekend.
All right, thank you.
Parker White finished second. And now up in the booth is Hunter Johnson, who rounds himself out in third and a final 4 spot for the DeNise Design Series. Hunter Johnson, got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Hunter. Well, now you're in the final 4. You got that off your shoulders now. What's your plan now heading into next week to try to steal a championship?
Well, first of all, I kind of have to, plan out strategy beforehand. I'd realized after I came down for my first green flag stop that Cole had kind of, pulled a fast one on everyone. He came down, he realized what the fuel window was and how much laps he was going to need to make it a one stop from the last caution, and he just I mean, it's not the first time he's done it. He's been good on strategy all season. But I just need to plan beforehand, and make sure that I don't get caught off guard. Because once he was out front, after that green flag stop, there was nothing was gonna stop him, besides a caution, which we didn't get. So that's usually the case at the end of the races when everybody wrecks out within the first 10 laps. So that's probably going to be the biggest thing, and just try to. Obviously, there's no bonus points for anything. It's just whoever finishes first wins. So I'm not gonna worry too much about anything like that. So we'll see how it goes.
Hey man, Tef, any sponsors you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank you guys, Peter and Zeke, for Max Speed TV for putting on the broadcast, everyone for watching, and then Supercell Racing and Proximity, 2 teams I've been working with. So that's about it.
All right, man. Congratulations on another podium this season, and good luck on chasing the championship next week.
All right, thank you.
That's Hunter Johnson, one of our final 4 contenders coming into next week. So, man, about time we finally rounded out this this week, and we've crowned our final 4 for each series. So it should be interesting to see how it all go. But until next time, of course, can't wait to see y'all coming next week. iSCAR at Bristol for the Wednesday race between Wild and Hunter. Of course, Friday Homestead, Saturday Homestead, Sunday Homestead. So all Homestead for next week, and what a way to decide the championship going that way. And hopefully it should be a fun one. I expect everything to be fairly interesting. Any last second comments, Peter?
Yeah, no, I think with the restart, with the different driving style for Homestead next week, especially in Cup, it's going to be exciting to see how it all is going to plan out for next week and who's going to come away with the championships. Got a couple guys competing for multiple championships, so that'll be interesting to watch. And yeah, that's really it.
All right, and with that summed up, my name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
My name is Peter Kenny.
And we're signing off after tonight. Thank you all for watching. Go ahead and see you next time.